What do people think makes them look cool, but actually makes them look like a douchebag? The line between joking and bullying can be a thin one, and a lot of douchebags either don't see it or they just don't care. A lot of them know exactly where it is and hide behind it. RIP my inbox. I was just joking. You can't take a joke. And of course the enabler friends, you just have to know him. He has a good heart. Blasting music in public transportation without headphones. Even better. Blasting music without headphones while hiking. Yes. I came out into nature to listen to your shitty music. Thank you. Last time I went hiking, an older teenager with her family was doing that. And she was singing loudly. As we walked past, she made it pretty clear that she felt she was an amazing singer and will be famous someday. No, you are annoying and your singing sucks. Picking on someone in a group and trying to get everyone else to laugh at them. Not in a hey, everyone's joking around kind of way, in a being a nasty piece of work and embarrassing the person kind of way. People like this suck. I had this happen to one of my friends once. He's disabled, so douchebags always tried to pick on him in middle school. He was in a group of popular people in class, and one of the popular guys said, "Hey, by a show of hands, who's the guy you hate the most in this group?" Hoping that everyone would vote against my friend. Then they all proceeded to vote against the same guy who called the vote. It was the funniest shit. Vandalizing rocks, trees, etc. in parks and nature preserves. It takes you out of the experience when you're scanning a gorgeous landscape and your eyes land on Butthead plus Ding Dong Forever in bright colors. Funnily enough, my parents live in an area where this is a point of conflict. Some people take small rocks and paint them, usually it's washable paint, then leave them in places for others to find. It's a whole geocaching type thing. But some people there hate it and will pick up any they find and toss them. Some clean them. The trails don't look like an Easter egg hunt or anything. The number of rocks painted is minimal, but it really bothers some of the people. Personally, so long as it isn't Greg was here or Dick Butt or whatever, I don't really care. Saw one kid who was super stoked to find a rock with a Batman symbol on it, which was cool. IMO. Edit, to make it clear. I'm not really trying to advocate one way or the other. If it's bad for the environment, then people shouldn't do it, but I, personally, know almost nothing about it except for the tidbits my parents have told me because it's some drama in the area they're at right now. For the record, no one has guessed the right area yet, but it seems to be an issue in lots of places. People who know more can chime in about whether it's bad or not. If it is something you're interested in or have been doing, then, I suppose, you should consider looking into it and whether there's a safe way to do it. But, again, I don't know anything about it. I have my own mundane hobbies that I spent way too much time getting into during COVID, and rock painting, hunting wasn't one of them. It's just a prank, bro, it's just a prank. Said by every douche about to get their ass kicked because they pushed too far. I hate these pranks. Not to sound old and crabby, but pranks used to be something everyone could laugh at and were harmless. Like a sticky note on the bottom of your computer mouse? If scaring strangers gives you joy, you're not a prankster, you need professional help. Edit, wow. That's a lot of responses. So I have been trying to think of a good prank response for my stepdad. Some time ago he put giant googly eyes on the front of my car, didn't hurt the car. And I didn't notice for 3 days. Got me good, and we both laughed our asses off when he told me it was him. I'd been going to the store, work, etc. had no idea. I've been trying to think of something good and along those lines to get back at him. You guys might be the right crowd to ask. Any ideas? Something harmless obviously, but that he may not notice right away. Supporting a celebrity that doesn't give a SHT about your existence online to the extent of bullying and name-calling people who don't worship that celebrity. Also, corporations. Also sports teams. Gatekeeping a music artist like they discovered them and are the whole reason for their success. Don't get me wrong, support the artist, but don't be that asshole that determines who is worthy of a common trend. It's part of a larger trend where someone's identity comes from their consumption, rather than what they create, such as the music they listen to or the surgery they elect to have. Edit. Now that this post has a ton of upvotes, am I supposed to give a stupid wow thank you speech or something? Also, the irony of getting Reddit awards for a post criticizing meaningless identity consumption. Picking on weird kids. But why would I pick on cool kids? Those are the people I want to impress. Failing school does not inherently make you a douchebag, but bragging about it as if it's something that is cool isn't the best presentation of character either. I've never read a book in my life. And they're proud. Sometimes people write novels and they just be so wordy and so self-absorbed. I am not a fan of books. I would never want a book's autograph. I am a proud non-reader of books. Kanye West. The quote is so stupid and childish, I had to check to make sure it was real. It is. Gatekeeping a fandom or hobby. You aren't a real fan of Zizz band if you started listening to them after this album. You're not a real beer drinker if you don't like Ipes. Excuse me, are you gatekeeping? How dare you? The ones who don't know how to get attention, so they start gossiping about everyone. And I'm like, I know your life is not interesting, but please have some respect for others and for yourself. I have a co-worker who has the gift of gab and is very proud of his ability to give people false assurances while being extremely vague, essentially just bombarding them with words until they're satisfied. It's a useful trick, I suppose, but when you hear him do it in real time, you realize he's just a very good liar. I have a friend who does this in a very patronizing way. I've learned to just nod and go oh okay or for sure. Because I don't care to argue semantics centered around bring right about some petty tiny thing lol. He acts offended when I actually say things like, that's nice opinion. Being an asshole to other people to boost your own ego. Pretending to know. Or be something when actually having no idea. Being mean to serving staff. True. It doesn't make you look assertive, it makes you look like an asshole. Endlessly talking and bragging about their private lives. Example: I had a real dick of a boss who once said, man, it wasn't yesterday I got laid with that woman after a customer left, which made me and my colleagues somewhat uncomfortable. He also talked about how his wife better show those TTs for everything he does. I'm not interested and I think it is super trashy to talk like that. Edit: he isn't my boss anymore. Handing a homeless guy a $10 bill and posting it on YouTube. Or people that make a video like, hey look, this animal is in danger, I am going to rescue them, here we go. Dude, if it's an emergency, stop fucking around. You don't have time to whip out the camera and do a narration. Every second counts. Shut up and just do it. People who tease guys for drinking girly drinks. If a guy wants to drink a strawberry daiquiri, let him drink it in peace. You know what is manly? Drinking whatever the fuck you want without giving a shit what people think. Edit: thanks for the awards, people. Tons of manly energy in this thread. This is very specific, but I once knew a bloke who thought he was cool for not liking Game of Thrones, which is fine, but would then post spoilers of it on social media along the lines of, I don't watch or care about Game of Thrones, but X died in the most recent episode, unlucky if you saw this. I fell victim of it once and I literally thought my blood was boiling. I was so angry. The lesson here is probably to stay off social media before you've seen the most recent episode of a show you love. But still. Fuck that guy. Using a cell phone in public on speaker. Edit: didn't expect this to blow up. Get a headset. Personally, I find this practice about as acceptable as farting in a crowded elevator. Judging another person for their interests even if the other person's interests don't affect or hurt anyone else. The other day I had an acquaintance tell me how a friend of mine who likes to collect Funko Pops must be such a virgin even though the guy is literally married with a kid on the way. Teachers who are proud of many of their students not passing. If I ever get a teacher like that, maybe I should ask why they are proud for being a bad teacher.